Welcome everybody. My name is Joaquin.
And I'm Jae.
And this is the Overflow Podcast at the Overflow Podcast.com.
Did you almost?
I almost said this is awkward.com. We're so happy to be here. We're $1 late, a day late and $1 short. But
Yes.
that's just how we roll. It's just been crazy. But we are super excited to be here because this is the last week you're going to hear Jay for a week. Or some such thing.
Maybe.
But anywho, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I might call in and be like, "What's up?"
What's up? So you guys are like, call in. What's he talking about? So as always, what up, Jay? What you got going on?
I thought Labor Day was about not working.
Which is ironic.
Yeah, it is. But I worked today, so.
Oh, okay.
Well, I didn't work at
Work.
the office. I worked at home.
You worked at home. Why?
Right. Well, it's funny, right?
And why did you work?
Because we put up the new microwave.
Right.
Well, the over-range microwave. And then I watched my father-in-law put up new shelves.
Right. Oh, so your father-in-law worked. You didn't. So.
Well, nah, it's that
Why?
Yeah.
Why did your father-in-law work?
It's because, right, check this out. So my father-in-law has this thing where he wants to help me do a project in the house, but ends up taking over, right? So, and then, my wife is daddy's little girl. So if I do anything, be like, hey, yo, act like Onyx, right? This is my, let me do this. My honey-do list, right? I'm the one that's going to hear it from your daughter if it doesn't get done, right? I can't say that because that's her father, right? So I gotta be all nice about it and, be all cool about it and step back. But today,
Right. Even though he's helping you out.
right? No. It turns out it always flips where I'm helping him out, right? Or I'm just standing there, and then the language barrier doesn't help because I don't know what the hell he's saying to me,
Right.
But we put up the microwave together because that was a 2-man job, right? And it was dope. There was a lot of Polish, there was a lot of English, some Spanish because I would forget and I would just start speaking Spanish, and a lot of
Nice.
laughter, right? And that was done. But then when it came to the shells, he was like, "Oh no, like this, no, like that." And then Magda was like, "Oh no, we do it like this." And I was, you know what? I'm gonna sit down and watch Netflix.
That's where you just wash your hands of the whole thing. Now,
Oh, so you're not gonna help? If you really need me,
you'll let me know.
I'll go help. So
Right.
my help with the shelving is, so when you go to the house now, there's gonna be a shelf in the living room, one of those floating shelves, and 2 in the bathroom downstairs.
Okay.
So my help when it came to the ones in the bathroom, yeah,
That looks
they're
straight.
lined up straight. And to the one in the living room was, hey, can you hold it up here? Because, I got the height. So
Right.
Yeah, okay. There you go. All right. Yeah, it looks
that's
good.
Awesome. So, do you feel like you're
Yeah.
somewhere different right
Yeah,
now?
it's preparing me, man. You had this all set up. That's dope. It's preparing me.
So, Jay, what is this? What is this we hear in the background? Let's be quiet for like 5 seconds so people can kind of get the full effect. Ready? I'm gonna raise the volume a little bit. Ready? Here we go. What was that, Jay?
That's the sound. That's the sound of the island.
That's the sound of the island of
Puerto
Jamaica.
Rico.
Oh no, Puerto Rico.
The island of Puerto Rico.
Or
where I will be.
Or Puerto Rico, as they say.
Where I will be on Wednesday.
Or Jay is going. So so for those of you that are listening, you hear that little sound. If you don't know, that is el coqui. That is the coqui. That is the frog. We talked about him a couple episodes back.
Yes, we did.
Because they hitchhiked from Puerto Rico to Hawaii. Originally to Hawaii with the Puerto Ricans that left to go to Hawaii, work in the sugar cane fields over there, and then from there they made the hop to California. Even though in California they're mostly living in nurseries because they need the moisture, that tropical climate. So Jay is going to be going to Puerto Rico. Yay!
Yay!
Wah, 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 wah.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
Nice. So this is what you should be blasting like tonight and tomorrow night before you guys go. I can't wait to hear the nobody can sleep because the frogs keep it keeping them up.
Nobody but Jay could sleep because of the coquille. Meanwhile, we're trying to figure out how to go to sleep, and Jay's over there snoring.
All right.
What do you mean you didn't get a good night's sleep? Oh, it was awesome. I slept
So,
great.
Yeah, so what's funny is that, for those of us that spent time on the island, right? This sound, it's like a comforting sound for some of us. Like Jay's mom does not like it. So we question her.
I think it's more because we
question her.
She said she's just tired of it.
We question her Puerto Rican car's got a couple of demerits taken away. So yeah, but a lot of people can't, like, it's like, and I have it low. So you imagine live and in person, it's like 4D, right? Because it's like all over.
Dude, it's
it's
such a soothing sound.
It is,
I don't even want to hear.
I
can't wait.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
But we're all going, right? Like the entire family is going. So it'll be
nice. Right.
Besides me, it'll be everyone's first time. And I say everyone because the one time Junie went doesn't really count because he was a baby. And so he has no memories.
Right.
It was when my grandmother passed in 2000. So like he wasn't even a year old. Right. So he has no memories.
Yeah,
so,
that's
he's never, so according to me, he's never gone.
Right. like it's like you've been there, but
you weren't there.
But you weren't really there because it's like when I say, well, I lived in Chicago, but I was like 2 years old.
But yo, I talked to my aunt yesterday.
Right.
And she was like, "Hey, this time when you on your way home, when you're driving home from the airport, do not stop anywhere. I'm a cook. I'm gonna make that mofongo you like. I'm gonna make some other stuff, like our food.
Right.
I'm gonna have it all ready for you, for all of you when you come to the house." I'm like, because I always stop at this one stop.
Right, we'll be there. We'll be there at 10:00.
That has the stuffed mofongo.
Right.
Right. The stuff with like pernil
or
then
whatever, right?
That criollo sauce. Oh my god, right?
Or
and
shrimp
then,
or whatever it is.
And then she was like, and your uncle says that on Sunday, don't make any plans because the whole family's gonna get together at his house so that we can all be there together. Instead of you trying to see everybody's just going to his house,
right?
And we're gonna stay, having a pool party. Everybody just jump in the pool. We're gonna be grilling. We're gonna make I'm trying to think of the word in English. But anyway, we're just gonna roast a pig.
They're gonna roast the pork.
One
pork.
I was thinking roast pork. Like they're gonna roast a pig, like old school style, like
Right.
I can't freaking wait.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Then because then I head off in December. So. But it'll be fun. Angel's gonna join us. Angel's gonna join me, and so we'll talk to him. And
I'll probably call and say, "Yeah, I just want to say what's up. Peace out."
Yeah, maybe we'll get Jay on the phone.
I'm just calling to say hi.
Depending on cell service because everything down there's still a little gimpy here and there.
Yeah, it is. But no, I mean, my family says that where we live, where they live, it's all.
You see, that's the thing.
It all looks. It looks good now. It's back now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Not to get too carried away with it, but it's funny because if you watch the news, it's like third world country levels going
Right,
on.
and that's why.
when you talk to family living there, for the most part, they're like, it's all right. Things are fine.
I was like, how's it look going down there? Because I know like the southern the southern portion of the island where we're from got hit super hard, right? And it sucked getting those videos,
Right.
And they're like, oh look, what town is this? And I'm recognizing the houses. It's like,
Right.
oh, the bridge connecting the town to everywhere else is gone. It's
Right.
flooded, right? And that's the image that I have. So my aunt is like, no, that was a year ago. We're good. Everything, it looks like nothing ever happened. Even the vegetation is starting to grow back. Like,
Right.
We're good. And I'm like, well, if you say so, because
Right.
like,
But Facebook,
you live there, right? So I'm not
but
gonna argue with you.
Facebook is telling me, what's his name?
Facebook and David Begnaud. Oh, well, how do you pronounce his last name? They're telling me it's still,
Well,
it's still horrible.
Was it Saladanya, Zoe?
Saldana, yeah.
She put out a video talking about Puerto Ricans are still, in trouble for the now and this or whatever, or AJ plus or A plus J or whatever.
Yeah, they're not
and it's
credible
like,
news sources. I don't pay attention.
And it's like, wait a minute. If
Yeah.
I look at Facebook,
Yeah, right? If you use Facebook as a news source, stop. You're doing it to yourself.
it's
Right.
like, wow.
Yo, but I talked to my family. They're like, nah, yo, like no lie. All of them were like, that was a year ago. We're okay now. It doesn't even look the same. Like these are back.
Well, that's when my dad was down there not too long ago, and he was
Yeah,
like,
that's
"No, it's
right.
fine." I mean, my cousins always posting pictures of them going on rides on their bikes all over the place, and
And the funny thing is that,
drinking and eating, and it's like,
like, the Instagram, the Puerto Rico Instagram feeds, like I've tagged you on a
Right.
few things. Like I'm always looking at those, and I'm like, but yo, why are you like promoting like all these things in the island and Lades and all these places, and they look great, right? And Puerto Rico's supposed to be like looking super bad. Stop lying to the people.
it's like, do you have an archive of these pictures? Or you just throwing them up?
How old are these pictures and video?
I did timestamps.
But yeah, looking
no.
forward to 2 days. So yeah, I may call just to say hi, or I might not because I'm really contemplating, like, just
Shutting the phone off.
shutting the
completely,
phone off.
downloading some music, putting it on airplane mode, and be done with it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and just like not be in touch or
And
not.
then only turn it on when you're like, stuff doesn't look the same. Raul's chicken is no longer there. It got blown away by the storm, so I lost my landmark.
I'll take pictures and video of like all the
Yeah.
great stuff, but I'll probably just
Yeah, that's like
just
when
stay
I
off
that's
social
like when I
media.
go to Nicaragua. When I went last
Yeah.
time, I just airplane mode, just so that I could take pictures, listen to a little music when I quiet time. But other than that,
yeah.
that's probably the best
was,
thing. All right, so there's a couple of things I want us to kind of hit up. There's a lot of stuff that happened. So this week,
So much.
Senator McCain, it was his funeral. It was Sunday.
Yeah.
And
Well, the second one was Sunday, right? Because
well, they like
the first one was Friday in Arizona.
yeah, and then they had the National Cathedral
Right.
ceremony. So that went down. Senator McCain. And last week we forgot to mention this. I totally slipped my mind. I don't know how. Aretha Franklin passed away.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, that's right.
The Queen of Soul. We totally forgot because there was like so many deaths last week. They just all got jumbled up. But yeah, Aretha Franklin. They had now, and this is gonna leap into the next thing.
So
but
what the? It's like
so Aretha Franklin passed away. So on Friday, they had the 8-hour service. It was like the longest service in the history of ever. Like it started, I think it started like at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock Eastern.
yeah.
And when we left, and I leave at 2 o'clock, it was still going on.
Wow.
And so, but Aretha Franklin died of cancer. She was in her 70s, and listen, if you like music, just go listen to her stuff because she is the bomb. The bomb diggity, yo.
If you've never listened to any of her songs, just listen to any one of them. It'll
Right.
change your life forever.
You bad. Anyway, so Aretha. Now this was interesting. So then out of that funeral, So there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things that happened at the funeral. Number one, I don't know if you knew this or if you noticed. I don't know if you watched any of the feed.
None.
So Louis Farrakhan was there.
Okay.
Well, but he's been edited out of a lot of pictures now.
Seriously, why?
Because he's Louis Farrakhan. He's an anti-Semite. He's in all this different stuff. And then people were like, we don't really want him in our
So then why was he there?
I don't know, Jay. I'm just telling you. I report the news. So that was his year. But the big controversy that came out of there was...
Wait, before you say it. Also, what I was told by the news people at work was that she had like no will, no anything.
Right. So according to the law in the state where she was residing, her four kids. I want to say they're all four sons. They're boys. Anyway, her four children. They split the estate
Right.
evenly amongst them. And so
Okay.
now the thing is, the question is like, how is that going to be done? And blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah,
because,
blah, blah, and all that
fights and greed and all that.
stuff. So out of that,
So here's the what the story.
So there was a bishop, Bishop Charles H. Ellis the third, and he was the one that was kind of emceeing, right, officiating the. Well, there was a couple of controversies. This is the first one. There's another one I'll mention it.
Oh, okay.
So now everybody, like every singer, I think they brought a singer of every like genre, right? I mean, they had so many people singing. So he got in a little trouble for two things. One, me and Jay don't think was that bad. The other one was like, come on, pastor. Or excuse me, come on, bishop.
Come on, Bishop.
So Ariana Grande, or Grande, they say Ariana Grande. I don't care. Don't correct me.
Grande.
So Ariana Grande, she sang. So the bishop, when she walked up, the first thing was, when I saw that you were singing, when I saw your name, I thought it was just a new item on the Taco Bell menu. Which is hilarious to us. But what really got him in trouble,
the $5 Grande box
with Ariana Grande, because I'm a
Grande.
gringo, Grande, is, I get told I'm white so much, I'm going to start leaning into that.
No.
Ariana Grande. So when
you can
she,
never be white
when
with a name like Joaquin Gonzalez.
it doesn't matter. That's what I get told. When she walked up, he put his arm around her.
Right.
That's not a problem.
No.
The problem is
Where he put his hand.
It looked like his hand kind of rose up where he was touching,
Where it looked like he was
like
touching a little bit of side boob.
a little bit of side boob.
And then he
I was
kept-
going to say a breast.
He kept jiggling his fingers.
and it looked like he
was
kept
trying to get a bigger,
moving his
a
fingers
better,
like he was trying to get a better feel.
a better hold.
We was talking about copping a field. Come on, Bishop. So obviously that made the rounds. That blew up,
Oh,
right?
it's still blowing up.
So, but the problem, so me and Joe were talking about this. Here's the issue. If it was at first, if it's accidental, because me and Joe tell sometimes as a guy you do the hug, the side hug,
Especially as Latinos, right? Because Latinos
we hug a lot,
and
so
yeah.
so you get that side hug, and when you touch, if you're a upstanding kind of person, a person with integrity,
with any integrity, right?
some ethics. You realize, and you're like, whoo, and then you drop your hand, or you take your hand off, or you push her away. You scream Jezebel, like you do, right? But you don't linger,
Right. And you definitely don't, wiggle the fingers.
and then you don't move your fingers. Even if it was like accidental, and it's a quick, and you're like, oh, but you just kind of move on,
Right.
But you don't like. Oh no!
And it looked like
just
he was like
hang out there.
groping and
The worst
pulling her in.
part of this thing was, to me, that's not even the worst. The worst is that he apologized, but he gave one of those classic non-apology apologies, where I was like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done it, but I was hugging everybody,
Right.
and it was like, nah, homie, just say I screwed up.
My thing with that is, right? Like you and I,
Deny.
right? You and I, we've been in ministry for a while, right?
Correct.
And with the speaking and the engagements and all these other things, right? And like I have, like when I first started, like you don't think about those things, right? Because you just want to pray and you want to, right? And you don't think about those things. But as you mature,
Right.
and
Hopefully.
as you get older, those things become more prevalent, right? So even before I got married, like I would not, like, you know, I grew up Pentecostal, so I would not lay hands on a female when I prayed for her, right? I would not at all. I would, like,
Right.
if there was no one else praying, because first thing I do is try to find a female
Right.
to pray for her,
Correct.
right? The second thing is I can't find a female, then I'll stand in front of them or I'll stand beside them so people can see me, right? And my hands are to my side, right? Or they're just up, right? So everybody can see, look, here are my hands, they're up here, right? And I just, you know, without touching. Or if I am going to touch because I see that they're crying and they're broken, then a hand on the shoulder.
Or the head, the top of the head.
No, I don't even touch the top of the head because, you know, some girls, some females get mad about their hair, right? So, right?
That's so I can mush them.
I put a hand on the shoulder, right? You know, with experience and being in ministry for a while, you know, don't do things to place yourself in a precarious position to give
Correct.
anybody room to talk about
Correct.
you, right? Like, and for me, if he's a bishop, even though we're not going to get into the
titles
or how they're not, whatever. But if he's a bishop, then he's been around for a while and he should know better.
Yes.
Like, he should know better.
Yeah, I mean, the dude's
And
been
then
a
with the
pastor
climate
for a
that
long
we're in
time.
now, he should really know better.
Right. At most, like we're talking, at most he should have maybe had her hand on the back, on her back. You know, maybe like the top half of her back.
That's
the
what you
friend,
said. For
the
me,
the friend zone of the back.
For me, he should have had both hands on the mic.
But,
both his hands on the microphone. It's like, hey, yeah,
well, but you know,
you were great.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's, you know, to play kind of
devil's advocate.
if every singer before her, he would put his arm around them. He would, you know, hey, you know, blah blah blah. But then he does it for the one. See, that makes it look
right?
weird.
And then it'll,
right. But that's why I said, if you've been doing that, then you put your arm around where you have your arm on their shoulder.
Exactly. That's
right?
what I was gonna say.
Like teenagers do when they start dating and they have their arms on their shoulders, like, you know, or you do the arm where it's right on the back, the middle, top middle
like
part of the back,
the bottom of the neck.
Bottom of the neck, where that way everyone behind you can see where your hand is, but you still have that connection that you're trying to make. But yeah, so it was just weird. For me, what killed me about it was just the fact that he was like, he apologized, and it was one of those weird, like, well, I was hugging everyone. It's like, that's not the point, Bishop. The other controversy, and I'll say real quick, a pastor, and I didn't know that. I didn't really listen to it, but I saw the news report, and they were saying this pastor, he apologized because on the pulpit he made a comment about black women cannot raise black men. Single black mothers cannot raise young black men, and he got heat because it was like, well, why would you say that? First of all, why would you say that at the funeral? It kind of seemed inappropriate in a way. Second of all, he just got heat because people don't like to be, you know, today's society, right? You can't make those kind of statements that boys need men in their lives to raise them to be men, to raise them to be good, young, upstanding men, you know, that will do the right thing. You can't say that anymore.
No, you can't.
No, right? So that was where that bit of controversy came up. So that was interesting. You could, if you want to dive deeper into that. Now, couple of fun things. This week, DC Universe information came out, and so me and Jay watched the video. It was very, very, very cool. Got the pricing we got, which is $7.99 or the $75 for the 15 months.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you do it now for the 15,
right? You got.
If you do it after it launches, only for 12.
So they talked about the
starting 2 people can stream at the same time.
2 people can stream at the same time. You're gonna have a ton of, like, what I thought was cool is like all the super friends, like all of that will be on there.
Yow. The Super Friends are hard to find on like
even on YouTube.
on
and stuff.
YouTube and whatever. It's so hard to find. I'm gonna be.
Did
so
you see
happy.
that? And then they showed. Did you see the HD intro to Batman
For Batman?
the animated series?
Yes,
How
I did.
fantastic that looks!
Yes, I did.
And you notice it's off of Amazon Prime now. Batman
Yeah,
the
I did.
animated
I
series.
noticed.
They took it off
They
of Amazon Prime.
All of them are off. The
There's
Batman, the Superman, they're all off.
yeah, there's still a few of the movies.
Right.
The animated movies.
And the Lego movies are off too. Like you can rent it,
Right.
but they're off Prime.
Off Prime. So they're gearing up the comic book stuff. They
Dude.
kind of touched it. It looks very, very
Yo,
cool.
the
that way
comic
they're gonna
book
do it.
stuff looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it looks amazing, and
Yeah.
the way that it reads, it's funny. The way that it flows, like your eyes will flow per from panel to panel, like you're reading
Right.
like an actual comic book. It's
Well, what's cool is I was talking to one of my coworkers who's legally blind.
yeah,
He's blind out of one eye. And I was telling him about it. I was like, because he was like, I can't find a comic book reader that works great.
Right.
Because if he uses some of the websites and stuff, you can't really, if you make the comics bigger, it just gets blurry.
mm-hmm.
So I was telling him, I was like, yo, dude, with this, you could throw the comics on the TV.
On the TV.
And he
Yeah.
was like, what? I'm like, yeah, man, your blind eye can see it on the TV.
Yo, and on that, did you hear that Brendan Fraser
It's
As Joy.
Yeah, he's going to be the robot guy in
Yeah.
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol? Yo, Brendan Fraser's back.
Yes. Makes me want to watch some of his movies from back in the
It's
day.
gonna be so good.
So we had that. The other big thing, and this was more in Christendom, and me and Jay talked a little bit about this, but Eminem dropped an
That's funny. Oh, this is more in Christendom, but Eminem dropped an album.
Eminem dropped a secret album like out of nowhere, and one of the big things about this album, right, was the fact that he just like was dissing and just taking shots at a bunch of rappers. Well, in the Christendom aspect of it, the rapper NF, who's pretty popular, even Eminem took a two-line shot at him in a song, which was interesting, considering that NF is known. I mean, he's not super huge, he's out there. But Eminem, me and Jay was always like, to me, he's right. If you've ever heard NF, that is like, I don't know if you remember, Jay, back in the 90s when you could go into the Christian bookstore and they had the if you like this person, then
Yeah, I
you like
remember
this
that.
person, right? The music, it was for music, right? So if you like Biggie, if you like Biggie Smalls, then
Then
you
you
like
listen to BBJ.
then BBJ, right? And then you
oh my goodness, right? Because BBJ got a lot of heat for that
he
too.
got a lot of heat because his first song that got him kind of known was Pentecostal Papa. Then he got signed to Universal, I believe. He dropped that album, and people, he's just trying to sound like Biggie, which was hilarious because then we're talking way back right now. Puff Daddy or P Diddy or Sean Combs or Sean John or whatever he goes by,
Sean Combs then.
right?
He
Whatever,
was still Diddy then.
whatever he calls himself at Brother Love. I think was what he tried to do not too long ago.
He tried to do now, yeah.
He signed a dude named Shine who sounded like Biggie. But he ain't get heat for that
Nope.
because Shine went to jail. That kind of, but right. So, but the thing was when I was thinking about that chart, it'd be like if you like Eminem, you'll find no difference in listening to NF. Just no cursing.
If you right, so Eminem. If you like Eminem Peanut, then you're gonna love Eminem Plain.
Eminem.
It's just no peanuts. No
I mean,
cursing.
it's the same thing. I was like, come on, dog, what's up?
But it's funny, right? Because like I was telling you how back in the day, like we've been around since before hip hop, right? And
Well, we were born right as hip hop was being born. Ish.
right, sort of,
Yeah.
right? But we were around before Christian hip hop or holy hip hop or whatever,
Right.
how many names are right? And we were trying to think of whenever of if there was ever a time before till now that a secular artist took shots at a Christian artist, and
Right.
I can't think of one. So if
Right.
anybody out there can think of one,
I think
let us know in
Well, they
comments.
did say that M took shots at KJ, so that would be the closest, I think. because of his Dear
right,
Slim
because
song.
it's Dear Slim. But still, right? But as I was telling Joaquin, and I was telling a few people on Friday, right? NF no longer wants to be considered a Christian artist. Right. He is even no longer under Capitol Records Christian label, right, which is Capital CMG with Jesus Culture and
No Big Deal
and No Big Deal
Social
and
Club.
Social Club Misfits. Right. Now he's just
et cetera,
under
et cetera.
now he's just under Capital, like regular Capital.
Right.
So right. He doesn't want to do Christian festivals. He doesn't want to like perform with Christian artists. Nothing.
Right. I'm shaking my head
Right.
as Jay saying
So,
this.
right. So it's interesting. It's interesting that now that he's out there as a regular artist, right? Like the worst guy that could come and attack him came and attacked him, right? And all over the Twitterverse, you hear, yo, NF should fire back. NF should fire back. And I'm like, no,
No, he shouldn't because NF is not a battle rapper.
and NF is good, but he's not Eminem
Yeah,
good.
he ain't Eminem. He's no LL. He ain't no LL Cool J.
He ain't Eminem good.
He ain't no was it Kumo D?
And yo, like on
He ain't
the
no
real,
Big Daddy Kane.
I say this.
He ain't no KRS-One.
I say this. I've toured with NF.
Right.
You know that I toured with
Right,
NF.
He's talked to him.
Right. And yo, the guy is good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna take anything from him.
Yeah.
But
Eh.
he's not Eminem good. He's not ready to.
I mean, he
go-
sounds like Eminem.
He's not ready to go toe to toe.
He's the best.
Eminem.
He's a great Eminem clone.
He's not.
But he's like Eminem is Coke Classic. He's New Coke. Like, you know, like.
It's so messed up. Oh my god, but it's true.
Even Joaquin's firing shots. But yeah, so that's just some of the stuff that's just been going on this week. So happy Labor. So here's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna head and listen to the song of the week, which is first of all, let's silence the frogs because we don't need them for the music. We're gonna listen to the song of the week. Then we're gonna kind of talk a little bit. We're just gonna kind of intro a little bit of some stuff that happened today, dealing with some Catholic church stuff, because that's gonna leap right into what Jay wants to talk about. So, song of the week, as always,
New release today.
Is a friend of the podcast. He was a guest here on the podcast way at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get him back.
Oh yeah, he wants to come back.
We need to get him back. DJ 412, aka the Baron, or the Baron, aka DJ 412. However you want to do that. He dropped a single, DJ 412 featuring
Parris Chariz.
Parris Chariz.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. The song is called French Water, and we like it here. So here we go.
It's a new season. Supermax. I'm drinking on French water right now. Yeah. I give out water the most. I'm Supermax with the glow. The rap running lap in the pool. I was on back of the boat. Load the problems, automatic beat. Spoke to Jesus, not a magic beat. I'm Supermax, can I do my thing? I'm Supermax, can I do my thing? I give out water the most. Max. I'm Supermax with the glow. The rap running lap in the pool. I was on back of the boat. Load the problems, automatic beat. Spoke to Jesus, not a magic beat. I'm Supermax, can I do my thing? I'm Supermax, can I do my thing? Yeah. Can't say my name when you talking now. Yeah. I'm Supermax, got it popping now. Yeah. They reach like Lecrae finna walk them out. Yeah. They talking down, better stop it now. Yeah. Let me talk. Who the wavy jugger from the projects? Who that talking down in the comments? I've been Supermax with the progress. Man, know my ex. What's that? Hit her with the side step. It was all good just a week ago. They been watching me just to keep the flow. Look, old girl hit me on a late night. I ain't hit her back to the daytime. I was trying to catch her on the FaceTime. See if I can see her with no makeup. I came up next to the dope dealers. Mixing the max with that hope feeling. Giving off raps with the ropes in it. Sprinkle the season on every written cuss. I give out water the most. I super max with the glow. The rap running lap in the pool. I was on back of the boat. Load the problems, automatic beat. Spoke to Jesus, not a magic beat. I'm super max, can I do my thing? I'm super max, can I do my thing? I give out water the most. I'm super max with the glow. The rap running lap in the pool. I was on back of the boat. Load the problems, automatic beat. Spoke to Jesus, not a magic beat. I'm super max, can I do my thing? I'm super max, can I do my thing? Yo. Can't say my name when you talking now. Yo. I'm super max, got it popping now. Yo. They reach like Lil' Cray finna walk 'em out. Yo. They talking down, better stop it now. Why? I give out water the most. I'm super max with the glow. The rap running lap in the pool. I was on back of the boat. Load the problems, automatic beat. Spoke to Jesus, not a magic beat. I'm super max, can I do my thing? I'm super max, can I do my thing? I give out water the most. I'm super max with the glow. The rap running lap in the pool. I was on back of the
Alrighty.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have 412 here, and he's gonna talk about and have him explain what it means that he gives out water the most, and maybe even have Parris here or have him call in
Or something.
or
Some such thing.
So what you got? What's up? What's the continuation
thing.
of this?
All right, so hold on. We
Catholic
got
Church debacle.
we are in a. There we go. We got to get back to the island. So, as we know, last week we touched on it. With the explosion of the pedophile ring that was going on in Philadelphia, in the Church of Philadelphia, with the bishop there and whatnot, and all this stuff. So this week, and this is off of CNN, the Archbishop of Washington, Cardinal Donald Wuerl, was addressing the Catholic Church's clergy sexual abuse scandal when a Catholic, a member of the Catholic Church, yelled, "Shame on you!" And then a lady stood up and turned her back to him while he was talking, and that's a pretty. It's pretty interesting where this is headed with the Catholic Church, because it seems like, they've had these scandals before. Remember the first time, it was, several years ago in Boston when it, broke huge, and they even made a movie out of it. And so the question is, what then
I was in Boston when all that was happening.
When that was happening, and of course, you had the cardinal that released the statements talking about what the Pope knew and what he did or didn't do. And so on the one end of that, right, it's like, whoa, what's going on here? How come things aren't being handled? But then on the other side of this scandal has also stirred up a lot of feelings, even amongst Protestants, right? And how they have felt that the church, treated them,
right?
Whether it was real or imagined, right? Because sometimes we get caught up in our own feelings, and it's not that anybody did anything, but we just want to get caught up in our feelings, and so this is where Jae comes in, because this is where he kind of, he was telling me earlier, you were seeing some things, you were talking to some people.
Well, yeah, the deal is, I think that the worst kind of hurt betrayal, let's say, right, also is that we can face or that we can go through is church hurt, right? And sad, right. And it's sad to say, but there is a lot of church hurt out there, and some of it is viable, right? Like this whole Catholic Church thing, forget about it. No one can disagree or argue against what is going on there and the victims and the children that beyond church hurt, right? Or the families beyond church hurt.
Right.
But some of the church hurt is not viable, right? And you can get caught up in your feelings, sort of like, oh, well, you don't know each person. But when you get butthurt because the pastor walked past you, right, and didn't say hi to you,
Right.
that's not real church hurt.
Right. That's
Right?
getting caught up in your feelings.
That's you up in your feelings, right? And trying to find an excuse or something to grab hold of so you can do whatever the hell you
right.
want.
Or my favorite, because I have to say it, is, well, I've been going there for a month and no one's talked to me. Have you talked to anybody? Well, no, because no one's talked to me.
No, they're supposed to talk to me. or
That's not how that works.
Or like me, well, I've been going there for 3 years, and I'm trying not to talk to anybody, but people still want to keep talking to me.
Right. And then he'll be like, well, man, nobody ever talks to anybody at this place. Well, you don't talk to nobody either. Well, I don't want to talk to anybody. You can't have it both ways, Jay.
That's what I'm saying. That was my problem. I'm trying not to meet or talk to people, but all they want to do is talk to me. All they want to do is find out who I am and find out about me. So, right? It's like the other way.
Yeah. Heaven
Pero-
forbid that you join the community. But anyway, that's for another
The
topic.
cult. But the deal is this, right?
Don't throw that word around lightly.
There is a lot of church hurt, right?
Yes.
There is a lot of church hurt, and the issue is, and this is man, there's something that Joaquin says that
Ooh.
that I've used a lot.
Something.
Right?
Ooh, something that I say that
Like,
you use a lot.
He says.
I can't wait to hear it.
He's so dumb, right? He says, well, church is full of broken people, right? And it's funny how we go to church
Correct.
broken,
Correct.
right? Surround ourselves with broken people,
Correct.
expecting broken people to like speak or give us some kind of life or something to help our brokenness, right? Broken can't help broken.
Right.
It's plain and simple. And the majority of the church, or the majority of the people that I speak to that suffer or struggle with church hurt, it's never something that they feel that God did, right? Or
Right.
betrayed by God or whatever.
Right. I got no problems with God.
But it's always something connected with the people
Right.
that make up the church body.
Right. So think of it this way also. So like, I'm broken, so I go to church because I need Jesus, because I want Jesus to heal me.
Right.
But Jay, don't judge me because I'm broken, and I'm still trying to figure this out. So don't judge me, Jay. Don't judge me. Right? You need to have grace with me. I can't believe, Jay. I can't believe you just said that to me, Jay. How dare you? I will not have grace with you. Right? And that's the problem.
Yeah, that's one of the many problems.
Right? That's one of the big, now we're not talking overt like where Jay grew up, where we're not talking like where the pastor is
The pastor's wife.
or the pastor's wife is up there like throwing jabs at people,
Right.
like real indirect jabs.
Or sometimes even
Or sometimes
direct jabs.
directly, right? Depending on how big, depending on how many people are there, right? As the number goes smaller, you get a little more indirect, right? Right, we're not talking. We're
It's
not
funny because
it's true. We're not talking that, because we can all agree that that's just bad.
Yeah, that's just horrible.
It's
It
wrong,
sucks.
right? You're a jerk. But we're talking, this person didn't talk to me, or this person talked to me, was short with me.
Or me and this person broke up, and like all of their friends, all of the friends that they had before we were together, don't talk to me anymore.
Don't talk to me anymore, right?
Yeah. Right? Because it's like
Fortunately, I've never had that problem.
right. It's like when
Unfortunately.
when I got divorced, right?
Right.
When I got divorced, I think I've told you this. I was invited to speak at this big youth thing, and like I was honestly surprised that I was invited as a speaker because of how legalistic Spanish churches can be.
Can be, right?
And I remember I bumped into.
And just to clarify, just Spanish churches in general.
Yeah.
They don't even have to be Pentecostal anymore.
I-
Once you had Spanish,
I didn't say denomination. I said Spanish churches. But like I bumped into this youth pastor who I was close to when I was married.
okay,
Right. Him and his girl and his sister, they used to come by the house all the time. We used to hang out. We used to go to movies together, right? Stuff like that.
Aww.
And then after the divorce, that legalism took over and
they ghosted
everybody was gone and they ghosted me. And and he said, yeah, I'm surprised to see you here. And I'm here like, I'm surprised too because I thought legalism would rule. And he said, no, I'm just surprised that you're, after your divorce and everything that you've been through, that you're like still serving God. And that statement, as you can tell, stuck with me.
Right.
Because
it's a weird statement.
And it's not because I'm hurt by it. I just thought it was a weird thing,
right?
Especially even though he's a youth pastor, but still the pastor title is there. Somebody who supposedly reads and knows scripture to say that to me and my response was like, why? So what's that got to do with God? God didn't divorce me, right? God didn't tell me.
Bro, the papers haven't come through yet,
right? God didn't like call me outside one day and say, hey. I have a new apartment.
Right.
I signed the papers for a new apartment. I move in on Friday. I was like, all right, you did this without me. So where are we moving? She's like, no, I have a new apartment.
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying, dog.
I have a new apartment. You need to find a place to live.
God's like, son, you're not understanding what I'm saying.
God didn't say that to me. God didn't tell me in New York,
I'm moving to Georgia.
Thank you for paying for my vacation with the kids, but I'm moving to Georgia at the end of the month. No, we're not. I'm moving to Georgia. Right? That was
Jay has a problem with understanding when people tell him things.
I was like, that wasn't God. Right? God didn't do that to me. God has stayed faithful. So why would you find it so weird that I'm still serving God if He has stayed faithful? What my ex-wife did, that's on her. That's between her and God.
Right.
Right.
And
I didn't get that.
Well, I think it's because I think part of it is because we've tied God. We've tied blessings, right, and God and blessings into good life, right. So if things aren't going good, that means that God somehow is absent. If things are going well, that means that God's there. So my wife left me. Where's God? Bad.
Yeah.
So because He didn't stop it, so then I'm mad at her, and I'm mad at him. Right. Whereas if, my wife was going to leave me, but she's like, I was going to leave you, but I prayed and God told me not to. Oh, that good, right? Because God intervened. So, so I'm happy with God because He stopped it. And I'm obviously I'm happy because my wife is here. I think that's part of the dynamic is that we teach in churches a lot of times, right? We kind of teach that, bless. God is always with you. God is always with you. God is always with you. But we don't stress or emphasize God is always with you, even in the bad. Like not just
because it's
in
like
the blessings.
God was with Elijah when He called down fire from heaven, but God was also with Elijah when he was depressed in the cave.
Right.
But we only teach the fire from heaven,
correct,
and not the depressed in the cave part.
Correct.
Right, and that's 100% wrong. Right, because if we say and we preach and teach that God is omnipresent, right, then He's present, omnipresent, right?
He's present in the omni,
right? He's always present. If we say God is almighty, then He is almighty, right? He is all powerful,
right?
We can't believe that God is just God in the good and not also God in the bad, right? He's still God, and that will answer the question. If God is love and God is so good, then why do bad things happen, right? And because we are broken people, right? Like we can't demand free will and love the free will that God gives us, and then demand Him to like take it away from us or take it away from those that do wrong.
Right. It's like this the old saying or cartoon or whatever where somebody said, a person they're talking and the one person says, well, why does God let bad things happen? Why does God let all these bad things happen? And the person says, well, why don't you ask God? And the person says, no, I don't want to ask God. And he was like, well, why? Well, because he might ask me, why do I let it happen? Right?
Nice.
Right. So it's I mean, I think I screwed it up but the truth of the matter is that bad things happen because we're bad people, right? Broken, we're sinful, we're prideful, selfish. We're all these things, right? But when it comes to being hurt in the church, it goes back to what we said earlier. I'm all these things, and I want you to give me grace, but I want to extend the same grace to you.
Correct.
And then that's where you get people that say things like, well, Jay, you know my history with the church. You know my problems with the church.
I've actually been told that.
I know you have. I've seen people write it on your wall on things that we posted. Right? Well, you know what happened. Mm-hmm. So what happened? What? That you got pregnant or whatever, or that let's say, because that was a pretty big one a lot of times, right? You got because that's a big one, right?
Yeah.
Or you got pregnant out of wedlock and they kind of came down on you hard. Maybe they shouldn't have come down on you hard, but you want them to extend grace to you because you got pregnant out of wedlock. Oh, it was an accident. I didn't mean for it to happen. But because it came down on you a little hard, then all of a sudden, well, no, it's you see, you guys are so unbendable,
right? Or the whole, only God can judge me, and I think we've touched on this a few times, right?
Right.
That is not scripturally correct. We're not going to get into the weeds about it, but that's not scripturally correct.
No, it's not.
Right. So,
and you should really ask yourself if you really want God to judge you.
Only God can judge me. Hey, you're right. He can. He can. He can judge you.
You better have Jesus.
Right? But you
better have Jesus before he judges you.
You better repent before that happens. Right? But the deal is this, right? We're bringing up all these myriad things so that you can realize and to help you realize
myriad.
That there's church hurt, there's work hurt, there's relationship hurt, there's all types of different types of hurt, right? But God is still good.
Yes.
God is still faithful. Right? If you got hurt in the church because somebody did or said or whatever, or didn't do or didn't say, right? What's that got to do with your relationship with God? Right? What does that have to do with you and God? The same way we don't let other people come in and influence or take control over our romantic relationships. Right. Right? Like,
or lack of.
Right? No. Why do you allow people, right, to come in and influence and take over your relationship with God, right? Because we like to pull, it's a personal relationship, but then you let outside things and sources and people interfere with
it. And it's funny because so here's some scriptures, right? Look, never Hebrews 13:5, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. Jeremiah 31:3, I have loved you with an everlasting love. This is God speaking, right?
Correct.
Matthew 28:20, surely I am with you always.
Even to the end of the age.
He is with you even through the knuckleheads that we run across in our lives.
Knuckleheads.
I mean, and so that's the thing, it's because we've heard this before. Well, I love God. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe he's the Son of God and he saved me from my sins, and I believe in the Bible. Why don't you go to church? Well, because XYZ, and it's
I believe in Jesus Christ. It's just the Christians I have problems with.
I have problems with.
Dude,
it's
that's
like,
you,
dummy,
son.
Dummy, you're a Christian.
Right?
And then you say you believe in the Bible. I guess you don't believe in the part where it says don't forsake the gathering of the saints.
Right.
Why does Scripture tell us to gather? It was because we need each other. We need each other. We're broken, like I said, we're broken, messy people that need each other to figure out how to walk the life that God has for us. And when I've said this before, we've said this before, God has set the standard. You don't, the idea is to continuously reach for the standard, knowing that it's a standard for a reason. It's because you're not going to reach it all the time. So if you want me to extend grace to you because you're not reaching the standard, you need to extend grace to those of us that don't reach the standard.
Yeah.
We're the same. We're all the same. Now, are there people that are jerks? Yes. Right? But so do you quit going to work because you deal with
people
to
ask that.
With people that are jerks? No, you learn to kind of deal with it. And you either avoid them or you figure out a way to turn them around.
The thing is that, right?
Preach.
There's going to be, just don't touch anybody.
Don't touch nobody.
The thing is that wherever we go,
no hugs allowed.
We're going to experience some type of hurt.
Yes.
Right? But we can't allow that hurt to poison our hearts.
Right. And to cut us off.
And to cut us off from God.
And from fellowship.
Right? The scripture says that we have to guard our heart above all else. And I've seen that in memes and stuff for like romantic relationships. Oh,
right.
Don't get into a relationship because you got to guard your heart. Guard your heart above all else because from it flows the source of life.
Right.
Something like that. I'm sorry.
Well, on here it says, and I like the way it's, for it determines the course of your life.
Perfect. Right? So, and it's not just romantic relationships. Let's not be silly people. It's
all relationships.
All relationships and all things, right?
Yeah.
And I'll say this again, right? When my ex-wife left me, that had nothing to do with God.
Right.
Right? It had nothing to do with God. Could God have stopped her? Yes, he could have. But he could have also not stopped her. Because I think I shared this with you also. Like, I remember was I praying. I was praying against it. That she not do it, that she not leave. And then I had one of those Jonah moments. Well, why? Why are you going to let this happen? Why? She still seems determined. And I felt that still small voice. And have you asked me what I want?
Right.
What's my will in all this? Right? And I'm like, I don't know. I just know what I want. Like, I don't know what you want, God. I don't know what I want. Right? And I've changed my prayer from stop her from leaving to whatever your will is, Lord, let it be. Right? And I'm good. Right? I'll be good with your will. Let your will be done. Right? And it's tough and it's hard because you never know what the outcome is. Right? But you can't blame God for the wrong people in your life. You can't blame God for the dumb people in your life.
Right.
And you can't blame God for all the brokenness in your life. Right? God is the only constant. God is the only thing and the only person that loves you no matter what, that sent his son to die for you in spite of who we are, right? And will always be there because as Joaquin said, the scripture says he will never leave us and he will never forsake us. Ever. And he is with us until the end, right? Always.
Right.
That's the one thing that we can be sure and secure of.
Right. He's with us in the good, in the bad, and because this is a broken world, probably more bad than good days.
Yeah.
And so we gotta. I think that's the other thing we have to remember is that, all this hurt that happens. It's it's if you think of it this way, it's just a small speck.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of eternity, because when we, remember, Scripture tells us that we're just passing through this world. So I think having that kind of larger perspective of, I'm passing through here. So do I pass through here showing love? Do I pass through here showing grace? Do I pass through here not being mad at people and being mad at God if something doesn't work out the way that I want it to work out, or because somebody might talk to me a certain way, and I want to get all of my feelings? But hey, we're all moving through this world together, so that when we do pass, right, we're in with him.
Yeah.
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 And then it's all good. right?
Yeah.
Unless you get mad, are you gonna get to heaven and be mad? I don't like this, you know.
The thing is, you know, and I'm going to keep saying this, you know, we're broken people surrounded by broken people, and yeah, and I'm going to real talk, right? If you're going to a church where and you can't find that, you know, like God did in Noah, if you can't find that one good person, right, not one nice person that you can connect with and like build with and build community and whatever,
Right.
then find another church. You can get up and go to another church,
Or
right?
Or, all right, what Jay said, or check yourself. It's like there's this old saying, I'm gonna clean it up. I love to say it though, right? if you run across a jerk in your day, if you run across a jerk, you probably ran across a jerk. But if throughout your whole day you just keep running across jerks,
You're probably the jerk.
maybe you're the jerk. And I say that because, right, I mean, if you're in a place and you want to tell me, maybe you don't want to tell me, maybe you want to talk to Jay, but you want to tell me, oh my gosh, I can't connect with nobody. My question is going to be, really? like, have you made the attempt to connect? Don't tell me I can't connect with nobody, and the most you do is you say hi to the person next to you, and when they tell you, hey, say hi to your neighbor, and you're just like, hi, I didn't connect. But then when I asked you, what have you tried going to a small group?
Right.
Oh no, I haven't. So then how do you know that you've connected to anybody? That's why you're not connecting, because you're literally not connecting.
Yeah, you're not making
And you know what? When you're connecting and when you make those connections, a lot of that butt hurt, a lot of those hurt feelings, a lot of those experiences are lessened, because now you have that community where if something is said, you can actually address it and not be sitting back going, oh my gosh, I can't believe they just said that. I'm out of here. The church is whack. I still like God, but church people are whack. They don't extend any grace to nobody. And then you just did the same thing you're accusing them of.
That's you.
Boom, boom, boom.
That's
I'm
you.
taking shots today.
You're talking
I'm
about yourself.
I'm inspired by Eminem. Oh, taking shots. No, all this is
inspired by Jesus.
Right.
So
Through Eminem, but anyway.
Right. So we're gonna close shop with this, right? If you're that person listening, and you're at a place where you just feel that you've got too much church hurt, right? Talk to God about it, right? And see what God has to say about it. And recognize that you're hurt with broken people because you're also broken.
Yes.
And God is perfect in all his ways, and he's for you, right? And once you can see that and move into that, then church hurt isn't as important as it is as God's love is. Right.
And you look at those people in with different eyes.
Amen. That's right.
So, as always, we're so glad that you joined us. Those of you that hung out with us today. Remember, the Overflow Podcast.com. There you can find, all the stuff we talk about, the links. You can subscribe through the different platforms so that you get all the episodes when we upload them that night. For those of you out there, hey, remember, keep Jay in your prayers as he is taking a crew down to Puerto Rico. It's going to be all their first times there. That's always fun, but it's always a bit of a headache sometimes because people are people, and they drive us all crazy. But he won't abandon them there because he loves them. And so that's it. Next week, excited. We're going to have Angel with us, and we're just going to have a good time. So as always, my name is Joaquin.
I'm still Jay.
And this is the Overflow Podcast.